Investment advisory and financial planning services are offered through Simplicity Wealth, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. SEC registration does not constitute nor endorse of the firm, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill nor ability. Investing involves risk of loss. Insurance, consulting, and education services offered through Diamond Life Planning is a separate and unaffiliated entity from Simplicity Wealth. This information is provided as a general information and is not intended to be specific financial guidance. Before you make any decisions regarding your personal financial situation, you should consult a financial or tax professional to discuss your individual circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Jose, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Jose.
Welcome back. So glad you're here. This is going to be a really great show. This is part of the 7 Money Wounds series. I know none of that sounds good, doesn't sound positive, sounds all yucky, but I promise you, it affects us all. Just saying. Today, we're going to talk about trust. This is a hard one, especially for women who've been betrayed, cheated on, lost money, divorced, childhood sucked, whatever it might be. Trust is a tough one. I've heard from many women, I'm just not good with money. Have you ever said that? Have you ever made a bad investment? Maybe you trusted someone that you shouldn't have. I actually had a gal come to me one time, $250,000 she gave this guy, some guy. You know, there's always some guy out there. And she came to me, she came to my Wine, Women, and Wealth thing that I had years ago. And we were trying to figure out how to get that money back. Literally gave it to some guy, like literally wrote the check out to his name. And of course, she couldn't get it back. It was long gone. And talk about a sense of betrayal. She had to forgive herself for not being educated around this guy and falling for something in order for her to ever have a financial life again, right? So maybe you stayed in a relationship where someone gave you control of the finances or took your control from the finances. Maybe you stayed in a relationship too long. Maybe you ignored red flags before you got into a relationship. Maybe you accumulated debt like in college or in your 20s and you don't ever want to feel that way again. Maybe you sold an investment at the wrong time and lost so much money. Maybe you made a financial decision that you just cringe when you think about. That's like one of the first things that I have people do when they come into my coaching program is look back at your financial world. Is there anything that you'd like to change? I don't like the word regret because it's always taught us something. But we want to look at that because that's still in our body, right? It's in our muscles, it's in our psyche, and it still affects us every decision that we make because we keep thinking, oh, I made a bad decision. And we start saying, now I make bad decisions all the time, or I can't make good decisions. The two statements are completely different. One means I have made a bad decision in the past, or I am just bad at making decisions altogether. So that's when we need to change some things. The other one becomes part of your identity. You take it on yourself as I just make bad decisions versus that was just a bad decision that I made. And where the trust money wound begins is when we stop trusting ourselves. So trust is such an interesting money wound because it often hides underneath other behaviors. Maybe you research everything to death, right? Maybe you learn you read all the articles, you learn from your friends, you ask a bunch of people, you even sit down with several financial advisors. I just spent time with this lady who has 2 financial advisors that she says she doesn't trust. I spent hours with her, several appointments, gave her many opinions, and everything that I have planned for her, she immediately makes more money. It is definitely better off in the future, and she still doesn't trust. So she's still with the other people, which is totally great. But I know I've done my job, right? And I've shown her a different way. So we have to look at our trust issues back in the day. Then sometimes we even lie awake at night and we ruminate over the decisions that we've made. Maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have got more advice. Maybe I should have got any advice. But there's always a difference between gathering information and handing somebody else responsibility over your life. When you've become so afraid of making the wrong decision, you just make no decision at all. And this is where it costs people time, money, it costs people stress. And I'm all about our health, right? I do not need to be more stressed than my life provides. So let's talk about this. I don't think we talk about it enough. When we're making decisions, it's difficult. And when we're leaving our money sitting somewhere because we're afraid to invest it, that is a decision. When we're staying in a bad relationship and we know it's not good, but we stay for many reasons, that is a decision. You're choosing, if you're in a relationship, if you're in a house, in a job, in a car, in anything, every day you wake up and you do the same thing over again, you're making a decision to keep that in your life. When you have friends, maybe you don't feel so great about the friends. Maybe even you are doing a monthly dinner with a bunch of friends, or a monthly workout schedule, or something you go on vacation every year with a group of friends, but you really just don't enjoy it. It's not a priority for you. When we're doing that every time when we really don't want to be there, that is a decision. So avoidance does not protect us from consequences. You avoid saying, I don't want to do this, or I'm changing my mind, or I'm getting out of the relationship. But this is how the trust wound begins. For some women, trust wound starts with money. Other women, it starts someplace else entirely. Someone could have betrayed you through a divorce. Somebody might even have hid money from you, maybe even lied about debt. It could have been seeing your parents fight about money. Your mom might, not show everything to your dad. I know that was generalizing, but sometimes spouses are not 100% honest with the other spouse of everything that they're spending, and they pass that on to their kids. Maybe you trusted a professional, a financial, any type of professional, a doctor, it could be anything, and they steered you the wrong way, or else you felt like they gave you bad advice. Maybe you were taught that someone else is supposed to know much more than you, and they're supposed to handle everything. And then you're not included in these decisions and in these conversations, and then things go awry. So then you do not feel trust. Maybe you just didn't understand investment. You didn't understand getting into this relationship. You didn't really know this person. There's so many ways that this shows up. And I know it's weird. I'm talking about trust as a money wound, and it can show up in the beginning as many other things, but it does flow over to your financial world and your relationship with money. Maybe you've signed up because someone actually told you to, and you didn't even want to. And then one day, all of a sudden, you have to make the decisions. It can be terrifying, especially when you've spent many years thinking someone else did it for you or knew better than you. And now you start blaming yourself. I should have known. I should have educated. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I hear this every single day. I should know. I just met another lady. My husband handles everything. I don't know anything. Okay, well, you got to know some stuff. Like 90% of women will, in this country, in their generation, in their lifetime, will handle their money. 90% of women will handle their money alone. So when we are giving everything over to our spouses and our financial advisors and maybe our families, wealthy families, they have parents and their people take care of everything and they don't know what's happening. I promise you 90% of women have to handle their money in their lifetime. So you still need to learn. You still need to know. Feeling that you betrayed yourself. Maybe you knew something wasn't right and you still did not act. Maybe you're blaming yourself for not asking more questions, or maybe got out of a relationship sooner, or maybe I should have paid attention more and instead of missing the red flags. All of these words could haunt us. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? So we're not judging you at all right now. This is just the information that we have now. So when we know better, we can do better, right? And of course, things look clearer in hindsight. Talk about parenting, right? We can always look back at, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should do that. Like we can always do that, but that's not how the story ends, right? So we want to look at where we're going. We want to make the decisions with knowledge and circumstances and emotions and resources that we have at the moment. So if you've never forgiven yourself, you may spend the rest of your life trying to. So you got to let that go. It's an impossible standard not to make mistakes. We all make mistakes, and fear of getting it wrong will stop you in your tracks. So we got to get rid of that fear. We're all going to make mistakes always, every day, all the time. It's okay. We got to love ourselves through it. Here's what happens if you don't trust yourself. Every decision begins bigger than what it is. Should I stay or should I go? Should I retire? Should I work? Should I help my child or not? Do I take Social Security? Do I spend money? What if I'm wrong? What if I regret it? What if something happens? Oh my gosh, what if I get sick? What if, right? This could go on and on and on and on. There's no question, there's no answer, there's no circumstance that's going to guarantee you that you're going to make the right decision every time. Nothing is going to guarantee you that every investment is going to work. Nothing is going to guarantee you that every relationship is going to work. Nothing is going to tell you and guarantee you that every house is going to be a good investment, or every car is a good idea, or every business opportunity is a good investment. Nothing is ever going to guarantee you that you're never going to lose money again. Trust isn't believing everything will work out exactly the way you planned. Trust is believing that if it doesn't, you're going to be okay. Let me repeat that. Trust is believing that if what you have planned doesn't work out, you are still going to be okay. That is huge. So why women sometimes give away their financial power. Let's talk about this for a minute. Sometimes we're doing it without even realizing it. My husband handles that. My business partner handles that. My advisor takes care of everything. My accountant knows everything. My son helps me with it. Oh, I just had this. I have a son that has been working with his parents for a while, and so now they're pulling out. And they're going to go with their son, which is great. I love family involved, and I absolutely do love that. However, they're doing it out of fear, which I want you to all do it out of choices and financial decisions, not being out of fear. So that makes me a little nervous. So when you have people helping you, I love it. I love to talk to beneficiaries. I love to talk to family. It's wonderful. But when it's replacing your voice, that's when it gets scary. You don't have to know everything, and you don't have to understand every financial term. You don't have to know everything about this person that you just met and that you want to date. You don't have to know absolutely everything, but you should understand enough either about your own financial life or about the person to know that you want to take the next step. And I don't understand that. It's a very easy question. I didn't understand that about you. I didn't understand about that. Can you please explain it to me? Explain it, Lucy, explain it. Like, that's okay. Okay, yeah, I love Lucy, just saying. It's not embarrassing. It's actually a powerful statement because you're trusting yourself, meaning that you do not know all the answers. The more we learn that we don't know anything because there's so much more to learn, right? So here's a big one. Trust after a betrayal. Oh, it's so hard. Now, what if someone really did betray you emotionally or financially? Maybe there is a huge hidden debt when you are figuring it out, or maybe someone completely betrayed your pact and cheated on you, maybe even. There's secret spending. Maybe there's infidelity, a business partner who wasn't honest. It could be a million things, right? You desperately want someone else to take over because you were so terrified of getting it wrong again. I totally understand that. Or maybe you're just not going to make any decisions whatsoever. I completely understand, and I understand both extremes. You're trying to just get peace in your life. And if you say these words, I'll never trust anyone again. No one can make a financial decision for me ever again. These things are great, but we want to do it out of knowledge, not out of fear. The healthier place is I can listen to advice. I can ask questions. I can gather information, and still I can recognize that this might be a good thing for my life, or I can voice my decision. Doesn't that sound so much better? I love that. You are allowed to change your mind, y'all. We're never stuck. Here's something else I wish more women gave themselves permission to do. Change your mind. It's okay. You are allowed. Changing your mind does not automatically mean that the first decision was wrong. So let's say you either got in a relationship, bought a car, a job, an investment, stock, whatever, and then circumstances change. And if you stay in that situation, you're choosing it again. Sometimes we need to say, I'm not choosing it again, so I'm going to change my mind. And you can choose one path today and decide 2 years from now is another path. Tomorrow, you can change your mind. It is okay. It does not mean failure by any means. This is human, and it's actually an intellectual human, because that means you have more knowledge today than you did yesterday, which we all should, right? We put so much pressure on ourselves to make the perfect financial decision, or the perfect relationship decision, or the perfect business decision. Guess what? Does not exist. Any perfectionists, recovering perfectionists out there, I'm with you, sisters. I'm with you. Like, just does not happen. Financial planning isn't about predicting your entire life correctly. It's more about the best decision you can make today and adjusting your life when it changes. Same thing with the relationships. Making that perfect decision today that this person is going to be in my life forever. It's almost crazy, right? I mean, I know we signed up forever, but we're going to be different people a year from now, 2 years from now. I just talked to a gal who wants to go through a divorce. And she says, does it get easier? And I'm like, well, you're going to be a completely different person a year from now than you are today. They never believe me until a year from now. Same with grief. Someone lost someone, and I've helped them through that part. And I'm like, okay, you're going to be a completely different person a year from now. It changes. It does not stay the same. Thank you for my dad. Nothing is more certain in life than change. I promise you, it changes every day, good, bad, and indifferent. It changes. So if you're feeling I'm terrible with money, we can change this. Now we're going to say, show me the facts. Do you pay your bills on time? Have you built a career? Did you raise a family? Did you survive a divorce? Did you rebuild after a loss? Have you saved money? Did you make any good financial decisions? If not, do you ask for help when you need it? Do you get educated when you need it? Or are you sitting there just listening to podcasts, becoming healthier with money? Yes, you are, because you're listening to Rock My Finances. So put that in the win column, y'all. Rebuilding trust, one decision at a time. That is how we do it. We don't wake up tomorrow and suddenly feel 100% confident and we're just amazing and all that. We actually rebuild it by being in action through evidence of you making small decisions. Okay, you're going to laugh. Make your bed. Make your bed when you get up in the morning and drink enough water that day. A lot of water. It's way more than you think. So that's trusting yourself to make good decisions. Pay attention to what happens. Learn from it, and then make another decision, and then another decision. Some will be great, some will be okay, some will be bad, doesn't matter. Every time remind yourself, I can deal with the outcome. This is how confidence grows. It's not from never making mistakes. We make mistakes all the time. It's from surviving them and learning from them. Just cooking. I've been cooking a lot lately. I make mistakes all the time. It's like, oh, that didn't turn out as good as I liked it to. Okay, I've been making chicken and dumplings. I've tried to make gluten-free dumplings, egg dumplings, Bisquick dumplings, gluten-free, just Bisquick dumplings. I made like all these dumplings one day. I wanted a dumpling taste off, right? Some are good, some are not so good. So it was all just education, just information. That's all we're doing. Realizing that you are far more capable than you think you are. I promise you, we are so much more intelligent. And when we realize we have enough information and we can make a decision and feel it in our body and know that that's a feeling and that we're going to make a decision and feel confident, that just lends you to so much more confidence. It's great. So this week, your homework is thinking about the financial decisions that you've made, that you're going to make. Look in the past, some of the things that you've already made that you haven't forgiven yourself about. I have one that I talk about all the time. I accidentally let an employee, I signed on the wrong side of my pink slip, and I ended up giving her my car instead of signing as the loan person. And they literally drove across a couple towns over and sold it, walked away with 10 grand. Never got it. Sued them. They filed bankruptcy, never got it. So yeah, I had to forgive myself. That took me about 3 months to really, really be actively forgiving myself for that. I was still mad at myself. Write down what happened. Ask yourself these 3 questions. What did I know at the time? What did I know at the time? Why didn't I know? Or I'm sorry, what didn't I know yet? Like, I didn't know she was planning on moving. I didn't know she was a shyster. She was a Christian. She was in a Christian band. She went to the biggest churches in our town. Why would I think that she would ever betray me, right? So what didn't I know yet? I didn't know that they were in huge financial trouble that I didn't know. What was the feeling I made about that decision? Oh, so many feelings. I'm stupid. I can't make decisions. I trust too much. I give too freely. I'm so embarrassed. Here I am supposed to be this intelligent woman. And I went and, I just felt so bad. So I was trying to feel safe, loved, accepted, secure, or in control. Was I trying to feel safe, loved, accepted, secure, or in control? I was trying to feel in control because I was trying to give her this, my car and take the loan out for her. So I was helping someone else. But I was just trying to be generous, and I screwed up, and I did it too fast. I was writing too fast. I didn't take into consideration what's happening. I never read what I was doing. So I signed on the wrong side of the pink slip. So I was just being in a hurry, and I was trying to be in control. So what did that experience teach me? Read what you sign, first of all. And here's a big one for you. I've turned one financial mistake into evidence that I can't trust myself. No. We did not. Now I want you to write down 3 financial decisions you have made well, right? They don't even have to be huge. It can be, I started saving. I paid off a credit card. I asked for a raise. I left a financial situation that wasn't good for me. I started investing. I bought my home. I asked for professional help. I ask my CPA questions all the time. Like, it's just constant. I actually said no to someone who asked me for money. And that I did feel good about, because I did lend money before and I never got it. $2,500, never got that again. So then they came back to me again, and I said, no, I did it the first time, and I won't do that again. So these good decisions count because they show us evidence that we can trust ourselves. And then finally ask yourself, if I trusted myself completely, what financial decision would I stop avoiding? And what would I make today? You don't necessarily have to make the right decision, but just identify it. What decision would I make today if I truly trusted myself? So if someone has broke your trust, maybe your life didn't turn out the way it was, maybe you could have changed things in the past. It's okay. I want you to begin trusting yourself now. Money stops feeling something that you fear and starts becoming something that you navigate, actually that you love. I want you to fall in love with your money. I want you to create a wonderful relationship with your money. I want you to love yourself, trust yourself, and your money world will follow. I promise you. When you do all of these things and you heal these 7 wounds, you are going to be able to walk away every time from my podcast. And I want you all to be able to say, I rock my finances.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk 4 TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.